I want to start this video off by saying this is for people who are obsessed with the meta and play by that rather than just getting characters you love. This is for people who play the gacha solely to get cards to fill their team slots and don't care about characters as long as they have the strongest team. I think any card can work for your team if you put in the work, and this is to help you better understand the card and put it in the right team for both you and that card. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're already well versed in meta and gameplay, so I'm not going to explain basic gameplay stuff. If you're new and don't know mechanics yet, I have videos on that to fill in some gaps. So we've already had Fairy Gala before, but I never made a card analysis because I wasn't doing them back then. A lot of people said they were interested in getting one though, so here we are. Because this event has already happened, I want to give my opinion on whether building is worth it for these units, so before we jump in, I want to be very transparent with how I play the game because that affects my view on cards. I'm not actually a meta player. I play for my husband, my boyfriends, and my son boys. I have never really been inclined to use R cards until Chapter 6 dropped in JP, and I was faced with the realization that I had to build my R school uniform Azul. I still don't use them often because honestly, over on JP and EN to an extent, I have enough cards that I don't really need to focus on the rares. I do build them on both of my EN accounts, and on my streaming account, I do use R cards heavily, but it's not something I've really done in the past. So just to have that out there. With that out of the way, let's talk about the cards. Ruggy is an attack Void Flora unit. His max HP is 5,564 and his max attack is 3,872. He's below average HP, but above average attack for rares, although for that above average it's just by like 300-ish points. He's one of the freebie units for Fairy Gala. In order to make him permanent, you'll have to clear the event story. Ruggy has Void Shot as a spell 1 and Leash Shot 2 as his second. That Leash Shot 2 is useful, but it's not rare for rare cards. That was a really awkward sentence. It occurred to me when I was writing this that I didn't know how common it was for Rs to have a spell that hits twice, and it's actually 44 out of 64, so over half. Ruggy has two skills, Power Drain on foes and Power Boost to caster. Both of these skills are gained at spell level 5, and they don't change at all. His Power Drain is minor and lasts one turn, while his boost is tiny and lasts one turn. His only buddy is Jamil, who gives him a moderate HP boost. Because he's a freebie, he'll need some extra attention when it comes to building. His card and vignette levels can be built normally, but he'll need special items for groovying and raising spell levels. He'll need one Gallicator for groovying instead of Groovy Candy. For spell levels, he needs Fairy Bells. For maxing out spell 1, Ruggy needs 135 blue, 112 yellow, and 90 red. For spell 2, it's 180 blue, 180 yellow, and 196 red. It'll cost 79 Thou marks total to fully build him. So is it worth it to build Ruggy? I would personally say no, although it kinda depends on your personal situation. He's not a unit I have on my streaming account where I focus on R cards, so I've never used him there. I've never used him in JP, and I never used him on my personal EN account either. His skills are pretty common, and it's easy to find other cards with those skills. However, I think if you need to build Void or Flora cards, it would be worth considering. Like, let's say I have Fairy Gala Ruggy and Dorm Leona. I'm struggling to build Leona's spell levels because of textbooks. Ruggy would be a lot easier of a Flora unit to build, and it might be worth it for you to, build him while you're still trying to gather textbooks for Leona. If this is your only Ruggy card, I would say build him because he won't have any item conflicts with Leona, or any other unit except for Kaleem. While you're bound to get some Ruggies at some point, if you have time to do battles and you don't have any Ruggy cards, he's on the easier side to build. Kaleem is an SR balanced water fire unit. His max HP is 8,062 and his max attack is 4,061, so he's a little below average for SRs. However, not by that much. The average max is 830.55 for HP and 4,400 for attack, but it's still something to think about. He's the other event freebie. You'll have to clear the event story and earn a total of 1,000 hair ornaments to make him permanent. Kaleem has Water Shot as a spell 1 and Fire Shot 2 as a spell 2. He has two different skills. For spell 1, at level 1 he has a minor damage boost to caster for one turn, at level 5 it's moderate and it stays that way. For Fire Shot 2, at level 1 he has tiny HP restoration. At level 5 it's minor. Like his damage boost, it doesn't advance at level 10. His buddy bonuses are Leona with a moderate HP boost and Vil with a minor power boost. As per usual, his card and vignette levels can be built normally, but groovying and spell levels will need different items. He needs 3 Gallicators to be groovied. For spells, he needs Fairy Bells. For spell 1 to be fully maxed out, he needs 180 blue, 168 yellow, and 180 red Fairy Bells. For spell 2, he needs 270 blue, 288 yellow, and 392 red. Together, he needs 450 blue, 456 yellow, and 452 red. According to the wiki, it will cost a grand total of 158,800 Thou marks. Because he's a healer and doesn't require textbooks, I would recommend building Kaleem. Free healer, like, what more could you want? That is legitimately my main reason I built him. I like healer cards. Jamil is an SR attack Flora Fire unit. His max HP is 7,108 and his max attack is 4,983, so below average HP and above average attack. He's available via a limited time event banner. He has Raid Up, and once this banner ends, you'll have to wait for another revival to get him. He has Force Strike as a spell 1 and Fire Shot as a spell 2. So unfortunately, he only has one skill. For his spell 1, at level 1 he has a minor damage boost to himself for 1 turn. At level 5 it lasts 3 turns, and that's it. It doesn't grow after that. His buddies are Ruggy with a minor power boost and Idia with a moderate HP boost. So my Fairy Gala Jamil on either of my counts isn't super built. I have used him, but admittedly, he's not a staple for me. I mostly use him when I need him as a duo magic partner or during guest room battles, which he can be very handy for, but admittedly, I don't use him like all of the time. So would I build him? Yes, but for me personally, I don't really have a lot of high investment for him. He's just kind of there when I need him, you know what I mean? Leona is an SSR defense Flora Water Fire unit. His max HP is 13,797 and his max attack is 5,233. He has the 13th highest HP out of any SSR. He's a little below average in attack though. He's available via a limited time banner. He's the Raid Up unit, but know you could get other SSRs in this banner, like I did, when it took me 215 pulls to get him. His spell 1 is Forest Strike. For his spell 2, it's Water Shot 2 for levels 1 through 9, and then at spell level 10 it upgrades to Aqua Wave 2. His spell 3 is Fire Shot 2. Leona has 3 skills, however 2 of those are tied to his spell 3, so just keep that in mind. For spell 1, at level 1, he has a minor Flora damage boost to allies for 1 turn. At level 5 it's moderate, and at level 10 it's major. For spell 3, he has nothing for level 1. Yeah. At level 5, he gains a minor power drain on foes for 1 turn. At level 10, he gains a minor damage boost to caster and then keeps that power drain. Leona has duo magic with Kaleem, who gives him a moderate power boost. His other buddies are Rook with a minor power boost and Silver with a minor HP boost. So Leona's skill is kind of rare, so I focused on that while looking for alternatives. My suggestions are Birthday Boy Epple, Birthday Jacket Sebek, Suitor Suit Lilia, and School Uniform Epple. Epple isn't a defense card, but rather a balanced one. His stats aren't actually too far off from Leona's though. He has Forest Strike, he has Water Shot 2, later Aqua Wave 2, and he has that Flora skill. However, he has no shared buddies, a different spell 3, and different skills on that spell 3. But to be honest, he hits so many of the same notes that even though he's technically not a dupe, he's insanely close to one, and I would highly recommend this Epple if you don't manage to get Leona. Sebek has the same spells 1 and 2 as Leona, but like Epple, he has Void Shot 2 as his spell 3. He has the Flora skill most importantly. They also share Silver as a buddy. His stats are more different to Leona's, but his HP is still really high. Now, Sebek does have a damage boost attached to his spell 3 like Leona, but it's for his allies and not caster. Still, he hits a lot of the same notes and is a great alternative if Leona refuses to come home. Lilia has that Flora skill and the power drain as well. They're both defense Flora Water, but Lilia's spells are the weaker ones and they don't upgrade. They share no buddies. I'm gonna be fully honest, the main reason I chose Epple was because he has the highest HP of any R card currently. No R card has that Flora boost, and because Leona's HP is one of his best qualities, I decided to go that route for finding an R alternative. Now that being said, it's not like Epple has nothing in common with Leona. They both have Water Shot 2, a Fire spell, and Rook as a buddy. Leona's going to be best in mono Flora teams. That Flora boost he gives his allies is going to be a huge help in those teams specifically. Now I have this card as I mentioned a moment ago, and although I don't think he's a straight up dupe for him, I did use him in place of Dorm Leona, and I do swap them around occasionally. I still use this Leona regularly. I personally don't see myself really using his spell 3 to be honest. I think if he's in a majority Flora team, using Fire would just put a hamper on the team. But if he's in a multi-element team, I think it would probably be okay. But I think his biggest draw is HP and that special Flora skill. Once again, thank you everyone for watching my videos. If you would like to support me beyond liking and subscribing and all of that, I have a Patreon and I also have channel memberships. If you like live streaming, I live stream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my videos, and I hope they help you. And yeah, bye! Shameless plug over.